Hi Payne, Will here, and today we've made our return to Photographic. This is the second time we've been here. I made this video here a while ago now, but today the video is for a special occasion because we've hit 10,000 subscribers. Quite some time ago now, but been a bit busy as of late, so I haven't had a chance to make a video. There's a bee there. I spent so long waiting for a bee to show up on this. Anyway, in this video, we'll wander the town, I'll make some photographs, and we'll see what else happens along the way. Before we get into any of the Van Weekstorp adventure though, I feel I should update you on some of the things I've gotten up to over the past few months. I mean, Chemo was one of them, but then, speaking of Chemo, I made a book, or an ebook rather, out of photographs and diary entries from that period in time. It's like a 50-page long ebook. I'll talk to you more later about it in the video. Since then I've been trying to go on little excursions. I'll show you something I filmed 3 weeks after Chemo, because I felt optimistic about my strength, and we went back to the Eastern Cape for me to recover a bit, and stopped at one of my favourite places in the world on the way, called Birds of Eden. It felt really good in that moment while I was making the photographs of the bird to be making those photographs, but I was kind of flabbergasted by how exhausted I ended up being after like an hour of making photographs. We hopped back in the car and then I was pretty much out of it for like the remainder of the week, and I brought all my cameras and all my film and stuff because I was like, yeah, they said 3 weeks after Chemo I'm gonna be perfectly fine, and then it took a while longer, as it turns out, but I'm glad I filmed some of that adventure. That song for the birds section was a song by my friend Michael Michelson, a new one, which is very exciting. He made me some new songs to use in videos, which I appreciate immensely, and look forward to sharing with you. I should, I suppose, also give you a bit of a rundown of the Chemo story, considering I've been gone for 4 months pretty much, and that's what's taken over the majority of my life for that period. Chemo sucks. I don't think that comes as a surprise to anyone, but it's probably the worst thing I have had to do in my life. And I've been really sick in my life before, but like the way Chemo made me feel was just abysmal. And the worst of it was that I was so desperate to be out making things, but I couldn't because I just got so exhausted so fast, and then that would bum me out, and then I was bummed out that I couldn't do anything, and it was no fun for a while, but I've been trying to ease back into things slowly but surely and like faltering along the way, and then maybe 2 weeks ago I ended up getting a job opportunity which I had to take because I haven't worked in like 4 months to go work in Johannesburg with Kent, and other things happened there, but it sort of kicked me back into gear, and I'm feeling about 85% back to normal now, which is exciting because it means I can pretty much resume normal activities, hopefully. Anyway, the next big excursion after that I ended up going on was the Van Wykstorp mission, which you're about to witness.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1, and on 1 I'll take the picture, so your eyes must be open, okay? 3, 2, 1. Perfect! Cool. Give me your number and then I can WhatsApp you the picture. Cool. Trust. Nice to meet you, Trust. You stay here, or where'd you stay?
It's too far.
Oh, far?
Yeah, it's
Oh, shame, man.
4 km.
Are you gonna walk that now?
Yeah, I can walk because we don't have the transport.
Maybe I can give you a lift.
Okay, thank
You must just tell me the way. Don't know how much of that interaction the camera caught, but that guy's name was Trust. And he didn't ask for a ride to his house, but he said he lived 4 k's away, and I decided that a 4 k drive was nothing compared to a 4 k walk. So I gave him a lift home. It's not something I'd normally do, but being that his name was Trust and was somewhere where the odds of anything bad happening, giving a ride to someone is slim to none, and I offered it to him, I figured it was worth it. And it was. He's a cool guy. Anyway, I reckon I'll make a landscape here while I'm out here, because things look nice. I've done something very smart with this light meter that I'll explain to you just now after I've made this photograph. And you're on the tripod, so I'm going to need to borrow the tripod for a moment, if you don't mind. That should do. Light meter says 250 f4, which is 30th f11. All right. It is a toasty 6 degrees Celsius this morning. I've got 2 frames left on my RB, and the first couple of pictures I made were doubles, so I haven't really made that many photographs, but hopefully the ones that I have made are decent. I'm out here at night and I realized that the moon was quite bright, which meant that there was potential for me to be able to video myself in the moonlight. And as it turns out, there is a way. I had to set the camera to its maximum ISO and the lens to its widest aperture and the shutter rate, or whatever it's called, to as slow as it would go to allow the most light in. And I'm sure it looks terrible in color, but if I make it black and white, maybe a bit more contrasty, and denoise it a bit potentially, then it'll look like infrared military footage or something. So we'll go with that, and keeping that vibe in mind. Delta 1, this is Sheepskin. I'm ready to take the shot. Over. Sheepskin, this is Delta 1. Fire when ready. Copy that, Delta 1. Sheepskin out. I'm gonna give it a 20-minute exposure, wide open, and we'll see how that goes. I might bracket it as well, just to see what it would look like with slightly less speed, because I have no idea how to deal with this moon, and my light meter doesn't either. I didn't really properly feel back in the swing of things when I was making those bird photographs. In fact, there are a bunch that I didn't even bother scanning because I didn't like them, and the exposures were all over the show because I was using that TLA 200, and it's a bit hit and miss when you're super close with that thing in terms of nailing the exposure. But in Van Weykstorp, I made some photographs that I really like, and I'm starting to feel back to my photographic norm, I hope. I mean, my big worry, I actually speak about it a bit, or a substantial amount in my ebook, was that having spent so much time not making photographs, I would get back to it and have forgotten how to do it. And to a certain extent, that might be the case. Like, there's a flow that you get into when you're making photographs all the time that I don't feel like I'm properly back in yet. But in terms of being able to see photographs and decide what it is that you want to take from the world, I think I'm kind of there still. I mean, I was hoping I might improve in my photographic sensibilities when it comes to subject matter, having spent so much time just imagining making photographs, but I'm not sure if that's come to fruition yet. The last time I was in Van Weykstorp, I made a bunch of photographs at night, and that was cool in its own way, but when I was there this time just wandering around the day, it felt quite, I wouldn't say lifeless, because it's just slow. It's a small, slow town, and a lot of people keep to themselves because they move out into the middle of nowhere to keep to themselves, and that wasn't particularly appealing. But then I ended up wandering up to where some of the people that work in the town live, and it felt a lot more lively there, so I spent the remainder of my time up there hanging out with them and making some photographs. I had this image in my head because I went and played pool with some of the people up there the day before, and the pool hall like overlooked this beautiful landscape, so I went and made that photograph. Probably didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it, but it felt good to go out and make something that way. And the rest of them I'll just show you, and maybe you can let me know which ones you like. The main important thing out of all of that for me was just like hanging out with people and interacting and having a good time, because it had been a long time since I just went out and spoke to people that I didn't necessarily know, and it felt really nice to be back into that swing of things. that pretty much leads us back to where we are now. As I have said, I feel about 85% back to normal, which means that I'm going to start getting back into trying to have videos put out in a somewhat regular schedule. I made that ebook, which you're more than welcome to buy. It would help a bunch, considering I haven't worked in 4 months. And I don't know, there's a lot of stuff in that book, or PDF, whatever it is, that I wouldn't necessarily talk about in a video. The intimate details of what I've been through, basically, and photographs that there are no words to describe, as usual. Photographs of me doing chemo, photographs Maya took of me the morning after surgery. I had a roll of film in a point and shoot that I deliberately shot from surgery through to after chemo, one roll, and then a bunch of RB67 pictures of me taking blood tests, self-portraits, that sort of thing. And I don't know what the price is going to be, but it's going to be downloadable on my Buy Me a Coffee. There'll be a link in the description, and if you're a member, it'll be free. And if you want to get it for less than the price of buying the book, then you can become a member and get it for free by being a member. Salesman will. Anyway, there's one more thing that I feel I should point out to you, share, potentially. Quite a big thing. In fact, probably the biggest thing that has ever occurred in my life and on the channel. While I was doing that job with Kent in Johannesburg, I made a decision and found something to make the decision about. I know I've mentioned before that I have a dream car, and I've been mulling over the idea of buying it for however long. I've mentioned it on the channel before. And I ended up buying one on the other side of the country and driving it down. I don't think it was the world's most sound financial decision, considering everything going on, but I kind of figured, you know what, if I'm going to blast all my savings on medical expenses and that sort of thing, then why not actually put myself in an uncomfortable position but get what I want out of it. So I've got my dream car now. I only have slight worries about continuing to earn a living, but anyway. Thank you so much for anyone who's watched this. I used to get so stressed out about not uploading something in a week because I was worried that people would kind of forget, and I suppose maybe it's been 4 months now, so a lot has changed in a lot of people's lives. I know a lot has changed in my life, but I really appreciate everyone that is around, and I appreciate the fact that people continue to join the the movement while I've been sick. I mean, I think I had like 8,000 subscribers before the camera died. But I was just saying thank you for everything and everyone and all the people that have subscribed while I've been away dealing with the most hardcore thing I've ever been through. And I don't know, it felt fitting to come here to film this because this is the exact spot I filmed the first video that ever went out on the channel, and now I've got a new lease on life. I mean, things aren't fully officially over yet. I've got like my first checkup in January to see that the chemo has done what's expected, but I at least feel back to normal, so we can continue business as usual, and hopefully the camera died and then the memory card went full. So clearly my heartfelt speech is not being accepted by the universe here. I'm kidding. But bottom line is thank you so much to everyone that's been around for really quite some time at this point, and thank you to everyone that has stopped by here again, because I mean, I guess in terms of internet memory, I've already faded from relevance. I don't know, I wouldn't exactly say that a film photography channel has anything to do with relevance, but I'm gonna be back in full strength hopefully before too long, and from this point onward I'm gonna be continually working on videos. At least I'm hoping to put something out like every 2 weeks potentially, just for now, so that I ease into it and don't do too much too soon. But thank you, and I'll see you again very soon.
you.